Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you have been staying safe and productive during these crazy times. In today's video, I'll be going over my top 5 sources of income, as well as give you guys some insight into how I build each of these income streams. I just want to start by thanking all of you guys for your positive feedback on my last video. It honestly means the world to me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It will help out the channel a ton. Now let's get started on the video. Just a little bit about me. I'm a Melbourne-based serial entrepreneur, and since graduating from high school in 2010, I've been running my own business. I was very average at school, and I never really found my passion or achieved any success until I started working for myself. Once I saw the results of my businesses, I realized that this was the path for me. The first source of income that I would like to share with you guys is my mobile phone wholesale business. I started this business in 2010 when I was only 17 years old. I started by just buying a broken phone, learning to fix it from watching YouTube videos, and then reselling it for a profit on eBay. As I became better at the process, I began to scale the business by learning to fix a greater variety of phones, and then eventually expanding into iPads and other personal devices. The business was making money from the start, but it couldn't be scaled quickly because of the time-consuming process of fixing each individual phone. I realized that this was a limiting factor of the business that I had to address. So I began to look towards wholesale, and that's when I realized that there was a huge market for new and used electronics. This is when I began to network with wholesalers and distributors from Australia and overseas. After negotiating contracts with wholesalers from Australia and overseas, I began to focus purely on wholesale. This gave me more time to focus on the business by growing it and expanding it into other markets. After running and growing the business for many years, it became very profitable. In 2017, we sold more than 10,000 devices and the company had a turnover of more than $10 million. 10 years later, this still remains one of my most profitable business ventures. To think that it all started with just me buying a broken phone and fixing it shows just how easily it could be for you guys to stumble onto something just as successful. My second source of income is the online retailing business. Having already established the network with wholesalers and distributors from overseas, I thought it would be profitable to import some in-demand products into Australia for resale. Compared to the wholesale business I mentioned before, this retail business has much better margins. However, it does require a little bit more work. The business is still in its early stages, but I think it has very good potential for future growth because the demand for discount electronics is only going to grow in the coming years. I currently run this business by myself, but I'm looking to automate and expand this business as much as I can. I might even hire people to work for me in the future, just so I can have more time to focus on my other business ventures. This could be a good inspiration for you guys to start your own online retailing business. If you never try, you never know what you could sell and how much money you could make. Find a product that you like, do some research into it, import it, and see how well it sells, and maybe you could stumble onto a very successful business. My third source of income is the passive income from my real estate portfolio. This is one of my favorite sources of income because it requires almost no effort for me to manage, and it has been growing steadily over the years. Because my real estate portfolio is cash flow positive, meaning the income from rent, it will likely cover all expenses and repayments. That means I will have a surplus of cash every single month that I can use to reinvest into more properties and keep growing my portfolio. After failing to achieve the results I wanted from my first investment property, I began to study and learn more about real estate. And eventually, this way of investing in cash flow positive properties really caught my attention. I really liked the idea of making money from day one. I started investing in real estate again in 2017, and I started with just one property. And I've been adding to my portfolio every single year. I now have 8 properties which are all cash flow positive. Since 2017, both Melbourne and Sydney have slowed down dramatically in terms of growth, and they had a limited growth of less than 10%. During the same period, I was able to grow my portfolio by more than 30% by diversifying into different smaller markets that build me not only cash flow, but capital growth. If you guys would like me to go into more detail about this topic, please leave a comment below, and I will make another video giving you my very honest opinion of investing in real estate, as well as my entire portfolio, property by property. The fourth revenue stream that I'll be sharing with you guys is flipping houses. This is simply the process of buying a property, adding value to it, and then selling it for decent profits. This is another side hustle that I really enjoy, and I'm always keeping an eye out for undervalued and rundown properties that I can make money on. Because of the overpriced nature of Australia's major markets, it is sometimes hard to find properties worth flipping. To overcome this issue of overcompetition, it could be smart to look into smaller regional markets as well as interstate markets. To give you guys some inspiration, I currently have properties in Bendigo, Launceston, as well as Hobart. There are a few ways to flip a property successfully. The simplest and easiest way is to buy a property for well under market value, do absolutely nothing to it, and just sell it for market price and keep the margin. However, it is very hard to find these kind of deals, and it's almost unrealistic to expect these deals to come up regularly. If you really want to make money from flipping houses long term, you have to add value to it. My most profitable flip was this property right here. I purchased it for just below market price, spent 6 months renovating it, dealing with different contractors and suppliers of materials. Then I sold it for just above market price to achieve a 200k profit. While this whole process sounds very simple, I can promise you that it is not simple. You need to have a very good understanding of real estate and have contacts in the real estate and building industries to give you very accurate estimates. And most importantly, you have to do your due diligence and research the requirements at every stage of the process, from purchase to renovation to sale. The fifth and final income stream that I would like to share with you guys is perhaps the most accessible to those who are just getting started in investing. And that, of course, is to invest in the stock market. When you buy a share of a company, you are essentially buying into a very successful business. And these businesses will pay you a share of their earnings in the form of dividends. Just think of it as you investing in your friend's milk bar. While you have no control of how they run their business, they will still give you a percentage of the profits. By buying into solid companies with good dividends, I hope to build a portfolio that not only brings me consistent dividends, but also gives me good long-term growth. My strategy to achieve this is through a method known as dollar cost averaging. This simply means investing the same amount of money in set intervals over a long period of time. A good example of this will be putting away $500 from your paycheck every month and investing that into a good company. You can also choose to reinvest your dividends from your stock portfolio into buying more shares. This will really take advantage of the long-term compounding effect and build you a lot of wealth over the long term. Guys, I've just shared with you my top 5 sources of income that helped me become a millionaire before the age of 25. I know that some of these income streams might seem out of reach to you, but trust me when I say this, you never know what you could achieve once you get started. I started just like everyone else with absolutely nothing, and with hard work and consistency, I was able to build my wealth over the long term. Start small and aim for small wins. Over time, you understand that nothing is impossible. If someone as average as me can do it, you can do it too. Just a disclaimer before I end the video, guys. All of this is not financial advice. You should always consult with professionals and finance experts before making any big financial decisions. I'm simply sharing with you guys what has worked for me. Okay guys, that's it for me. Thank you for watching till the very end. If you found any value at all from this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next week.